Hare Krishna. So can everyone hear? Voice is audible? Hare Krishna. Can everyone hear, right? Yes. Okay. सत्यानंद चिंत सत्येक पक्षे सर्वाध्यक्षे भक्तिरक्षादिदक्षे श्री गोविंदे विश्वसर्गादिकंदे पूर्णानंदे नित्यमास्तां मतिर्मे अज्ञाननिरधिरूपैति यया विशेषं भक्ति परापभजति परिपोषमुच्चैः तत्त्वं परं स्फुरति दुर्गमम् अप्यजस्रं सत्पुण्यभृत्स्वरचितं प्रणमामि गीतं गौरां सुखः सत्कुमुदप्रमोदि स्वाभीक्यया गोस्तमो निहन्त श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य सुधा निधर्मे मनोदितिष्ठन् स्वरतिं करोतु प्राचीनवाचः सुविचार्य सोऽहम् अज्ञोऽपि गीतामृतलेशलिप्सुः यतः प्रभोरेमदेत तत्र शन्तक्षमत्वं शरणागतस्य सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपानन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपादमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामी नामिने नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे योऽन्तः प्रविश्य आवाचमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्त क्लशक्तिधरस्वदाम्ना अन्यावहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं पान्त्वस्मान् पुरुहूत वैरिबलवन्मातङ्गमाद्यद्घट कुम्भोच्चात्रिविपाटनाति कपटु प्रत्येकवज्रायिताः श्रीमत्कण्ठीरवास्य प्रदर्शनकरा धारिदारातिदूरप्रध्वस्तत्वान्तः शान्तप्रदितमनसा भाविता भूरिभागैः। Hare Krishna, I welcome you all for this Bhagavad Gita Sastri session. On the third day, now we are in the chapter number 2. So yesterday we saw first chapter Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and we found there are reasons why the victory is on the Pandava side and why there will be defeat in the Kaurava side, because Duryodhana was having fearful, doubtful about his victory, about his own people, and he was disrespectful towards Guru and Bhishma Deva, and ultimately he was not having any concern for his own party. He said Madartam Tyakta Jivitaha, not like Arjuna, who had a concern Kripaya Paraya Vishtaha. He had concern about his army and the opposite party also, but Duryodhana did not have this concern about his own party also. And then at last he didn't have the mercy of the Lord. So with all this thing, we can conclude that Kauravas will get defeated, and then Pandavas had very good chance of getting victory, because in the first place, Arjuna had Krishna in his side. So there are many reasons, at least 5 reasons, what Srila Prabhupada quotes, and in other overview, you must have heard that why Pandavas will gain victory. So Arjuna gave various reasons for why not to fight. Yesterday we saw that Yamunacharya's shloka Astana Steha Karunya Dharma Dharma Diyakulam Partham Prapanna Uddishya Vartate Shastrate, this Bhagavad Gita Shastra Avataranam Kritam, due to the improper placement of mercy and the relationship, and also considering dharma as adharma. These are the 3 main reasons Arjuna quoted, and also he had a fear of sin and the destruction of the family and tradition. So these are various reasons Arjuna gave that why he doesn't want to fight. So in the end of the chapter, he speaks about the purity of women. So whole Mahabharata war took place because of disrespecting women. In Vedic tradition, women were respected very much. Especially in Mahabharata, you can see as soon as they have touched Draupadi, then the whole war has taken place. I'm not hearing. Can everyone hear? Hare Krishna. Can everyone hear me? There is one devotee who says he cannot hear. Yes. Thank you. So please increase your voice, maybe volume, then you can hear. So if you see Ramayana or Mahabharata, in both the places, when Sita Devi was disrespected, then his whole generation, his whole family, his own dynasty was destroyed. Similarly, in Mahabharata also, when they did apachara for the women, that is Draupadi, then Mahabharata took place. So this shows how much respect was given for the women in the tradition, in the Vedic tradition. So, and also we heard that how the suffering leads us to God consciousness, and merciful person who has this mercy in his heart, he has this inclination to hear about Atma. So these are the some of important points that we have learned in the first chapter. So whenever Lord gives us distress, it is just to remind us that we should not be immersed in bhoga. Rather we should engage ourselves in the self-realization. So that is the purpose of Lord giving us distress. So that is the whole point of Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Now we are coming into the second chapter, that is called Sankhya Yoga. So Sankhya Yoga means Samyak Gyayati. Samyak Gyayati means that which is understood, or that which can be understood by Buddhi, that is called Sankhya. And here we are going to have an analytical study about the soul. So that is called basically Sankhya Yoga. So in this Sankhya Yoga, three things are discussed in the second chapter. One is Sankhya Yoga, second one is Nishkama Karma Yoga, and third one is the character of Sthita Pragya. So these are the three main topics in the second chapter. Yamunacharya, he gives a very beautiful Sangraha Shloka for this second chapter. He says, Nitya Atma Sangha Karmeha Gocharaha Sankhya Yoga Dihi Vitiye Siddhadi Laksha Prokta Tanmoha Shantaye. In the second chapter, Dvitiye, what are the things said? Nitya Atma, that is eternity of the soul. Asanga Karmeha Gocharaha. So that soul can be attained only by Asanga Karmeha. The karma which is without any expectation of the result, Gocharaha, Sankhya Yoga Dihi Dvitiye. So these two topics, and Siddhati Laksha. Siddhati means one who has study intelligence. So these are the three topics which are Sthitadi Laksha Prokta Tanmoha Shantaye. In order to pacify the Arjuna's moha or disturbed mind, Krishna spoke these three important topics in the second chapter. Usually people, when they get problems or when they are in suffering, they don't go to Lord very easily, like we have discussed in the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Whenever we have a problem, we should reach the Lord. But usually it doesn't happen, because Sukaya Karmani Karoti Loke Natai Sukam Banyat Uparamamba Vintate Bhuyastata Dhukkam Tayatra Yuktam Bhagavan Vadannaha. This is what Maitreya Rishi, when Maitreya Rishi met Vidura said this, that people, they do so many work. Why? Sukani Karmani Karoti Loka, to get enjoyment. But while doing their work, whether they get enjoyment, no, they get so much dukkam, viparyavat. So they get viparya, means negative, that is distress. So vintanti poyas tada dukkam, even though they get distress, they won't stop doing that work. They will do it again and again. Yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha, but they will never come to Lord. Matirana Krishna Paratasato va midope patyate graha pradhanam adanta gopir vishadam tamishram puna punascharvita charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj says, for people, Matirana Krishna Paratasato, whatever sufferings they go through, their mati, their chitta, their mind doesn't go to Krishna. Matirana Krishna Paratasatova, not by their own accord or not by others' instruction. Matirana Krishna Paratasatova, Mitopi Padyata Grahavadana, because they are Grahavratas, they are very much attached to the household enjoyment. What they do in house, Punascharvita Charvananam, they just chew the tune and they are trying to enjoy, they're just trying to squeeze out some kind of very cheap kind of enjoyment from their body and their senses, but they will never come to Krishna. But this is not the case of Arjuna. He has surrendered to Krishna. So here Krishna is instructing us, then whenever we have a problem, we should not run away from spiritual life, but we should increase our spiritual activities. We should go towards Lord very much. So here Arjuna has done the same thing. So that is the beginning of this second chapter. So the first, okay, we'll go through shlokas. This is very big chapter. We have 72 shlokas. I hope by Krishna's mercy, if we can go through at least till 53 shloka, that will be good, because when we cover 53 shlokas, then we cover two important topics of the second chapter. So in the second chapter, when Arjuna was disturbed and he sat on the battlefield and he sat on the chariot, Dhritarashtra became very happy. And Sanjaya, he saw that Krishna was not happy. Tam tata krapaya vrishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vijedantamidam vakyam uvacha Madhusudanaha. As soon as when Krishna saw this, the distressed Arjuna has sat down on the chariot, then Krishna started to speak. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Utastva Kasmalabidam Vichameva Amupastitam Anarya Jushtam Asakyam Akirtikaram Arjuna Klaibyam Asmagam Partha Naitatayupapatyate Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam Tektotishta Parantapa. So as soon as Krishna, he heard this, Arjuna saying that I will not fight, then Krishna became very angry. He became a little disturbed and he started speaking. When Krishna starts speaking, then it is called Shri Bhagavan Vacha. It is not like Krishna Vacha, like yesterday someone has asked me a question that why when Krishna says it is not Krishna Vacha, it is Bhagavan Vacha. Because he is Bhagavan, Vyasadeva wants to establish, it is not Mahabharata is meant for just for stories, but wherever there is a chance to establish Krishna's supremacy and about the philosophy of Vedic literature, then Vyasadeva will use that. So whenever Krishna is speaking, he says Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. So here Prabhupada also, I will come to the questions in the last session. So here Bhagavan, this Bhagavan Shabda is very special because in Bhagavata itself, when Sutta Goswami was asked by Saunaka the rishis to speak about Maharaj Parikshit and the Bhagavatam, so he started to speak about Lord Krishna. Atapi yat padanaka varashishtam jagat virincha upahrita arhana ambaha shesham punanti atyamano mukundat konamaloke bhagavat padartaha. Who is eligible to have this pada of Bhagavan other than Krishna? Because from his lotus feet, Brahma has taken water. And then who is God, Krishna or Narayana? Please, we will have questions in the later, in the end of the session. So he says that Brahma is taking the lotus feet water, that is Ganga, and also Shiva is also worshipping Lord Krishna. So if that is the case, then who else can be called as Bhagavan other than Krishna? Jnanam Vishuddham Paramarthamekam Anantratam Tva Abhayor Brahma Satyam Pratyak Prashantam Bhagavat Shabda Sanya Yat Vasudevam Kavayo Vidanti. So this is also another beautiful shloka which says Jadabharata and Raugana, they are in the discussion. The Raugana says, who else can be called as Bhagavan other than Vasudeva Putra, that is Krishna himself, because he has all those different qualities. And also Parashara Muni, he used very good definition for Bhagavan. It is not Bhagavan is a term which everyone can use. Bhagavan has a specific meaning. Aishwaryasya, Samagriyasya, Viryasya, Yashashriyaha, Jnana Vairagyo Cheva, Kima Bhaga Idinganaha. So Bhagavan means it's like Dhanavan, Bhagyavan, Jnanavan. So one who has Jnana is called Jnanavan, one who has Bhagya is called Bhagyavan, one who has Dhana is called Dhanavan, and who has Bhaga is called Bhagavan. So what is Bhaga? Bhaga Shabda refers to Samagriya, that is in full of Aishwarya, Virya, Yashasha, Shriya, Jnana, Vairagya, all the 6 qualities one who has in full, not 10%, not 20%, not 99%, full. Somebody may have some rich, somebody may have some beauty, but Krishna is all rich, he has all beautiful, he has all fame, he is the most powerful, he has complete knowledge of everything, and he is most famous and he is most renounced, even though he has all these qualities. So this shows that Krishna is Bhagavan, and there is no difference between Narayana and Krishna. His names are different, but it is again denoting the same person. And also in Bhagavatam we see the shloka called Ete Cham Sakalapam Chaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So wherever there is a place, Vyasadeva is very particular to show how Krishna is called Bhagavan. So here again Bhagavan is speaking. So Lord Krishna here chastises Arjuna. He says, Kutastva kashmalamidam. From where this bewilderment has come to you? Kutastva kashmalamidam. Vishamaya samapashchitam. Anaryajushtam aswargyam akirti karamarjuna. This is not good for Aryas. Aryas means one who is interested in moksha, because that is the whole purpose of human life. We have this human body. What is the purpose of human life? It is meant for dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That's are the four purusha arthas of human being. Like a dog, if you have a dog body, then dog is meant for watching over the owner. If you have eagle, then you have a specific purpose, you have a specific quality. If you are an elephant, you have a specific quality. If you are a tiger, you have a specific purpose and property and quality. Similarly, who is called human? Human means those who after these four purusharthas, that is dharma, artha and kama, moksha. So if person is not going behind this, then they are not called as humans. So ultimately, the purpose of human life is meant for moksha. And whomever is interested in moksha, they are called Aryas. Krishna is saying, whatever you are saying, your action is not befitting the quality of Arya. Anarya Jushtam Asargyam. It doesn't bring you to heaven. Akirti Karam Arjuna. It brings you defame only. Arjuna, please don't do this work. Klaibhyam mas magamaf partha naitattayuvapadyate chudram hridaya daurbalyam tekto adishta parantama. Hey Arjuna, get up and fight. Klaibhyam, you are not a enunk, you are not a enunch. Your time for Agyatavasa has completed. When they had this Agyatavasa, he was called Brahmanala in a Rajya. So your time for Klaibhya has been ended. Now you're not Klaibhya anymore. You should fight. It is a very heavy word for a Kshatriya to call someone as Klaibhya. So because he's a friend, so he's talking in a very friendly manner. Klaibhyam masmagam of Partha. You are Partha. Partha means you are Pritha's son. Pritha is a daughter of Surasena. The Surasena's sister son is Kunti Bhoja. So Kunti Bhoja has adopted this Pritha and she become Kunti, and then she is called, and Arjuna is a son of Pritha, so she is called Partha. So you have such a great generation, you have great family. So this is not befitting for your family. He says, Klaibhyam masmagam of Partha, naitattayupapadyate, shudram hridaya daurbalyam. Give up this weakness of heart. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam, tekto atishta parantapa. Get up and fight. So here Arjuna is saying, I'm not covered, I'm not doing out of ignorance, but I'm simply don't know what is my dharma. It's not, it's a weakness of heart. I have weakness of heart. I don't know how to do this fight. So Krishna is pushing him for fighting. Now Arjuna is again started to talk. So there are few shlokas like 4, 5 and 6. These 3 shlokas, Arjuna will again give some more reasons for not to fight, and then again Bhagavad Gita starts its way. So here Arjuna again says, Katam bhishmamaham sankye dronam cha madhusudana ishavipratiyosyami pujarva harisudana guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaiksham apiha loke atvartakamamstu gurunihaiva munjiya bhogan rudira pradigdan nataitadvidamat kataranno bhariyo yatva janeyama yadiva no jayejuhu yane avahatya najini vishamas evastita pramuke dhartarashtraha. So Arjuna says, Katam Bhishma Maham Sankhe. Krishna, how can I kill Bhishma? How can I kill my own guru? Katam Bhishma Maham Sankhe Dronam cha Madhusudana. Hey Madhusudana, you may have killed Madhu Kaitapa, you may have killed those Rakshasas, but you are Pujarva Harisudana. You are called Harisudana. Harisudana means you are killer of enemies, not the relatives. You cannot kill your Surasena, you cannot kill Ugrasena, you cannot kill Sandipani Muni. How can you kill? So how can you encourage me to kill my own guru, my own grandfather? So it is not possible. They are worshipable. Even by joking words, I cannot disrespect them. So if I cannot disrespect them, how I can kill them? So he says, Guruna Hatvahi Mahanubhavan, they're all Mahanubhavas. Shreyo Bhoktum Bhaiksham Apihaloke. It is better for me to live by begging. Hatvartakamas to Guruni Vaiha, Gunjiya Bhoga, Rudira Pradikta. Even if I kill them, if I try to enjoy those kingdom, it is tinged with blood. So I don't want to enjoy this kind of kingdom. But Shastras, they teach us, Guru Rapi Avikalpitasya Karya Karyam Ajanataha Utpatti Pratipannate Pratyoyo Vidhyate. So if some guru is a very proud person, he has improper behavior or he is sinful, that guru can be rejected. So Krishna is showing that you can do this. Why cannot you do this and kill? Because Bhishma himself says in Mahabharata, Artasya Purusho Daso Dasastu Artana Kaschit Iti Satyam Maharajo Bandosmi Artha Kauravaihi. Bhishma says, hey Yudhishthira, people they think they are earning money, but actually money is earning people. Money is, everybody is serving money, but money is under not anybody's order. And especially myself, I have become slave for Kauravas because they are providing me everything. So I have become servant of Kauravas because of wealth. So Bhishma himself accepted that he is doing wrong. So there is nothing wrong in killing this kind of people. So this is what the Acharyas they give example. So Arjuna is not understanding what he should do, whether he should kill or he should not, or he should be killed. So with this confusion, now he surrenders to Krishna. He sees that he is speaking something related to dharma, especially whatever he speaks, it is dharmic. But again, he sees Krishna's argument. Krishna is also speaking something else. He says, fight. Arjuna says, I don't want to fight. And Krishna is saying, you fight. And Krishna is dharmasya prabhu achyutaha. He knows what is dharma. If Krishna is saying, that is dharma. And Arjuna is thinking, whatever I am speaking, it is also dharma. So now he is confused. What is dharma? Whether I should follow Krishna or whether I should follow my own words. I don't know what is best for me. So what he does, the best thing, he surrenders to Krishna. Karpanya dojo prahata swabhavaha Prichami tvam dharma sammuna chetah yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me vishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. He says, I am soul surrendered to you, so please you instruct me. Bhagavad Gita starts with this prapannam, with this surrender. So starts with prapanna and ends with sharanagati. So Bhagavad Gita is, that's why it's called Sharanagati Shastra. Starts with Arjuna's surrender and ends with Krishna's saying that Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So here Arjuna is saying Karpanya dosho pahataha. I have a dosha, Krishna. I have a disease. What is the disease? Karpanya dosha, Kripana dosha. What is it, Kripana? There are two words, Kripana and Brahmana. What is Kripana? Kripana means one who has cripple-minded, one who has very short mind or very cheap kind of mind. And Brahmana means one who has broad-minded. So Vedas, they give us very good definition for Kripana. Yova etat aksharam dhargi aviditva asmal loka praiti sakripanaha. Hey Gargi, this is from Upanishad. So the Rishi says, hey Gargi, if somebody dies in this world and without the knowledge of Brahman or without the knowledge of God, if somebody dies like a cat and dog, then he is called Kripana because he has not used his human form of life. Because human form of life is a great treasure and it should be used for understanding God. Atado Brahma Jignasa. If he doesn't use this wealth of human life, then he is definitely called Kripana. What is Kripana? What is miser? Miser means he has money, but he's not using it. Similarly, we have this human body, we are not using it properly. That's why it's called Kripana. And who is Brahmana? Atayetat aksharam dhargi viditva asmal logat pradishat brahmanaha. One who leaves this material world knowing what is God, then he is called a Brahmana. So here Arjuna is saying, Krishna, I have become a Kripana. I don't know what is good for me. So because of this crippled minded, because of this short mind, miserly mind, I am losing my taste for my swadharma, that is Kshatriya dharma. Prichamitvam, please you tell me, dharma sammuda chetaha, what is proper dharma to do? Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitam, what is good for me? What is shreyas? What is good for me? Nishchitam bruhitam me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. So you please teach me, I am soul surrendered to you. So without your help, it is impossible for me to understand Shastras. So that's why you can be a very well versed in Shastra, but still you need a guru. Without guru's mercy, without guru's guidance, it is impossible for us to understand the purport of Shastras. That's why in the spiritual life it is said Adav Guru Ashrayam. In the beginning of our spiritual life, we should accept the Guru. So Guru, he is actually helping both the God and the soul, just like Hanuman has done. So Hanuman plays the role of a Guru in Ramayana. He goes to Sita and speaks about Rama, and he comes back to Rama, he speaks about Sita. So Lord is waiting for us, and we are also here struggling a lot to reach the Lord. We don't know how to reach him. And also Lord is also not knowing upaya, how to bring us back. He has sent us Guru. So Guru comes and informs us about Lord, about us and our relationship and how to go back to him. So with his help only we can reach the God. So here Bhagavad Gita starts with this Sharanagati. To whom we should surrender? To Guru we should surrender. So first of all, we should surrender to our Guru, and under his instruction we can get clear knowledge about our existence. Ahi prapashyami mamapanudhyat yachchogamuchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatna vruddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam. Arjuna says, Krishna, ahi prapasyami mamapanudhyat. I don't know what is good. Even though I may take up this war, I can win, whether I lose, doesn't matter. But looks like this confusion, this problem is not going to go. Why? Because if I get victory, I will get kingdom. If I get killed, I will go to Swarga. But still, this problem will not go. Why? Because this kingdom will also perish after a few time, and the Swarga Bhoga will also be completed in a few moments. So, what is the eternal happiness? I don't know. So this problem is not going to go. So please tell me what is the real happiness or what is the real wealth that I can get. So here Arjuna is accepting that just by gaining victory, or Krishna is not just pushing for the war, he has some other plan. So Arjuna is very clearly saying that even though I may take up this war, I can win, or whether I lose, it doesn't matter. But still this confusion is not going to go. So you please instruct me. So with this Arjuna has stopped. And then so now Krishna is going to speak. Before Krishna is going to speak, before we are going to hear Bhagavad Gita, we have one small, very good scene happening in the middle of Kurukshetra. Sanjaya says, Eva mukva rishikesham gutakeshav parantapa nayotcha iti govindam ukva tushnim bahubaha. Tamuvacha rishikeshaha prahasanniva bharata senayor bhayor madhye vishigandam idam vachaha. So Arjuna has completed his argument. He said, Krishna, I don't know whether I should fight, whether I should kill them or get killed by them. So you please tell me what is good for me. After saying this, he becomes silent. Now Krishna starts to speak. So because Arjuna has this attachment, now he is confused. Even though he has knowledge, but he is attached with the relatives. So now he is getting confused. Just like once what happened, this is just an example. In my house, my father gets heart attack. So when father gets heart attack, I become so tense. I don't know what to do. I'm just running here and there, trying to call different people, but I'm not getting any help. I don't know what is happening. So my neighbor, he comes and he sees the situation. He makes a phone call to ambulance, and then ambulance comes. They take my father and he gets treated and he comes back very safely. So next month, what happened? The same thing happens in my neighbor's house. Their father gets sick and he gets heart attack. And he also in a very he's very lamenting mood. So he also doesn't know what to do. And what I did, I went, I saw the situation, I made a phone call, I called the ambulance, and something happened. So when we met, we asked what happened with each other. When we get problem, we are out of our control. We cannot help ourselves. So the answer is, when my neighbor comes and he sees the situation, he's not attached with my father, but he knows what to do. So he is very peaceful. He just makes a phone call. He just does his duty. He's not attached with the result. He's not attached with the person. He just does his duty. So he's not confused. You know what to do. But when you think it is yours, when you have attachment, this is your father, and I don't know what is going to happen when you attach with the result, then all kinds of confusion and problem and bewilderment happens. So this is what happened to Arjuna when he thought these are all my people, and what result is going to get. So when he start to contemplate on all this subject matter, then he is confused. So Arjuna is confused. Now Krishna started to speak. It is said here, Tamuvacha Rishikesha Prahasanniva Bharata. Krishna just smiled and he started to speak. Because now he is going to talk Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is a quite a very heavy philosophy. So before starting any philosophy, he just smiles and then now he is going to start. So for Krishna's smile, Acharya is giving various reasons. When Krishna started to smile, they say Krishna is smiling because Krishna understood. Now Arjuna is in my plan. Arjuna had a different plan to fight, but now I have brought him to my plan to speak Bhagavad Gita. So he was little smiling, and he was smiling to show now I'm going to speak Bhagavad Gita for the welfare of people. So he had a smile. And he is smiling to Arjuna. Arjuna, you just don't worry. If you don't want to fight, I'm ready to fight. I can just finish everyone very quickly. So you don't worry. So as a friend, as a comforting friend, so he was smiling. And also he says, just by my one smile, I can start a fight. I can stop a war also. So don't worry. I'm there. And when you smile, when Krishna was smiling, the beautiful teeth of Krishna, which is shining like white pearls, are visible. So Arjuna's ignorance can be dispelled by Krishna's little smile from his mouth. The beautiful white rays are coming. So he was smiling. And also to show that Arjuna's position, you are saying Shishyasteham Sadimam Tvam Prapannam. You are saying that I am your disciple. But whatever I'm saying, you're not hearing what kind of disciple you are. So he was a little bit smiling in a very sarcastic way. And also he said, what kind of guru disciple we are. You are calling me as guru and I'm sitting down, and you are calling yourself as disciple and you are sitting on the up. So guru usually sits up and disciple they sit down, but here it is different. You are sitting up, I'm sitting down. So what kind of guru disciple is this? So he was smiling. And also to show that Krishna is always in Ananda, he doesn't undergo any kind of tribulation. So even in the midst of war, even in the midst of the tension mood, Krishna is just smiling. Nothing, don't worry, everything is under my control. So he was just a little smiling and he started to speak. So all these things are introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Whatever we have now till second chapter, shloka number 10. This is an introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Now Krishna starts to speak Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Asochan Vasocastvam Pragyavadangsha Bhasate Gatasuna Gatasumscha Nanudo Santi Panditaha. Arjuna, now you are talking like a pandita, but actually panditas they don't lament, but you are lamenting for useless thing. What is that? Asochan, you are lamenting for useless thing. What is it? Asochan means not worthy for lamentation. Who are not worthy for lamentation? Son of Dhritarashtra. They are not worthy for lamentation. You are lamenting for them. Asochan, Anvasochastvam, Pragyavadangsha Bhasase. You are talking like an intelligent, you are talking like a very scholarly person, but actually you are not. Why? Because Arjuna is speaking about Lubda Vindodaka Kriyaha, he is speaking about hell and heaven. When you speak about hell and heaven, that means you understand there is a next life. When you understand about next life, then you understand the Atma is different from the body. When you understand the Atma is different from the body, how you are going to kill an Atma? So that you cannot kill anyone. So this shows that you are contradicting yourself. You believe in God, you believe in soul, but actually when you act, you are not doing like that. Similarly with us, Pashyannapi na pashyati. We see every day that soul is different from body, but we don't realize and we don't act in a way the soul does. So he says, Asochan Amasochastam Pragyavadangsha Bhasade. You are talking like a very scholarly person, but you are not, you are fool. Gatasuna Gatasumscha. Gatasun means the prana which is taken away from the body, Gatasun. And Agatasumcha means the prana which is not taken away from the subtle body. So a person who is intelligent is not bewildered by both gross body and subtle body, because Gatasuna Gatasumscha Nanasosamji Panditaha. So for the soul there is no any change. For the body, there is always some change. So gataso na gataso means here, an intelligent person is not bewildered by gross body and subtle body. From gross body, the soul is taken away. From subtle body still remains. Body anyway is going to get destroyed. So a person who is intelligent, he is not bewildered by this kind of changes. So that's why he says gatasona gatasomscha nanuso santi panditaha. And then Krishna moves on speaking, Natve vaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachayvana bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. This is a very important shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Here, Acharyas, they give so much importance in explaining this shloka just to give us an understanding what is the nature of the soul. Krishna, in few shlokas, like till 11 to 17 shloka, 16 shloka, is going to speak some important characteristics of the soul. He is going to speak about the soul, the God, and the difference between the soul and God, and also the Prakriti. So he is going to speak about these three things. And after that, from 17 shloka onwards, he is going to speak about more characteristics about the soul. So here, Natve vaham jatanasam natvam neme janatipaha nachayvana bhavishyamaha sarve mayamata param. So in this shloka, Krishna says, Arjuna, whether myself, yourself, or all this king, there was no time they did not exist. There will be no time they will cease to exist, and they are always existing now also. So we are all eternal. We were eternal, we are eternal, and we will be eternal. So there was no time that we all were nowhere, and suddenly we are now here, and in the future we will be nowhere. We will always be present. So this shows the eternity of the soul. But usually the Brahmavadis or Shankara people, they take this shloka and they try to explain that there is only one soul in this material world, and everything is just a shadow or reflection of that one supreme soul. They call it Ekatvavad. But here Krishna is trying to refute that there are different souls and there is a difference between souls, and the souls are eternal. It is not that after liberation the souls are going to get merged. So this is quite philosophical treatise. I'm not going to here, even though we have very beautiful explanation, because we have very less time. I'm not going to go through this analogy of how Krishna is trying to refute the Shankara philosophy. We'll move on with the knowledge about the soul. Next shloka, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tadat dehantara prapti dhiras tatrana mukhyati. Shloka number 13. From shloka number 13 to 30, Krishna is speaking about Sankhya Yoga. So in 30th shloka, he says, okay, Krishna, maybe soul is eternal, I understand, but we should lament for the body, because body will go. So why we should kill Bhishma and Drona's body? Body we should at least care about body. Then Krishna says, no, body is also not eternal. Body is also changing. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tatat dehantara prapti dhiras tatrana mukhyati. A dhira is not bewildered by these changes. What is the changes? He has kaumara, yavvana, and jara. In this lifetime itself, we have three kinds of body. We have childhood, we have youth, and we have old age. So when a child is taken birth, the child starts growing. Nobody is crying, oh, my child is growing. Why child is growing? Child had a very small body, now it has a childhood body. Nobody is crying for that. When the child grows little more, it attains youthfulness. Nobody is crying, oh, my child has become youth now. Nobody is crying for that. When the person little grows more, and he becomes old also, then nobody is crying for that. Oh, I'm getting older. Nobody is crying for that. We are all celebrating. We are all celebrating our birthday. But actually, nobody is crying for their different phase of life. Similarly, this body is just changing, and it is going to change. The soul is changing the body from childhood to youth to old age. Similarly, at the end of its life, it is going to change a new body. So there is nothing to worry, because in this life itself, we have changed different body. So change of body should not bring you miseries. It should rather bring you happiness. So that's why dhiras tatrana mukhyati. Dhiras means one who is not under the influence of Swabhava and Karma, but he is under the influence of Jnana and also under the influence of devotees. They are called Dhiras. Here, Baladev Vidyabhushan gives a very nice definition for Dhira. In this world, we have two kinds of influence. One is by karma and other one is by swabhava. By karma, because of karma, we have this body. This body cannot be avoided. It is already here. This body cannot be avoided and we cannot change anything in this body. But there is something called swabhava. Swabhava can be changed. Swabhava means our vasanas. So when we are acting in this world, what happens? We put in a situation where we should try to decide what we should do now. If we are under the influence of Swabhava, then we will do according to our karma and we'll end up in again more karmic reaction. But if you are under the guidance of devotee or guru or shastra, then you will come above Swabhava and you will do only what is mentioned in the shastra and you will burn away your karma and Swabhava. For example, Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he has put into a situation. He has put into a situation that he was thrown away by his father. So this is karma. So karma cannot be changed. Karma is fixed. And now his swabhava. His swabhava is Kshatriya swabhava. He became very angry. He wanted to go out and do tapasya and get successful in tapasya. So that is his swabhava, Kshatriya swabhava. Now he is acting Kshatriya swabhava. Now what happens? Narada intervenes. Narada comes and he tries to pacify him and he tries to guide him. So he accepts the guidance of Narada. Now what happened? His swabhava changed. He has completely transformed himself and he became a devotee. So this is called Dhira. Dhira means they are put into such a position. In that position, they will act according to the guidance of devotees and they will take up Shastra. With Shastric knowledge, they can burn up the karmas and they can burn up the swabhava also. So that is called Dhira. So here Krishna is saying Dhira Sattana Mukhyati. Dhiras, they don't grieve or they don't suffer for the person who is changing his body. And then in the next two shlokas, he is going to speak about how to or what is the way to understand that soul. What is the means to understand the soul? Matra sparashastu kaunteya sitoshna sukadukadaha agamapaino nityastam titikshashva bharata yamkhina vyatayante te purusham purusharishava samadukka sukam dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. Last shloka, in 13th shloka, Krishna spoke about soul. Now he is going to speak about what is the means to attain the soul. What is the first qualification to understand the soul? Or what is the first qualification in spiritual life? That is Titikshashva Bharata, tolerance. The tolerance is considered as the first quality to enter inside spiritual life and to practice spiritual life. Not only in spiritual life, but even in material life also. Tolerance is very important. Without tolerance, for each and everything, if we get disturbed, then we cannot achieve anything. So he says, Matras Parashas Kaunteya. Matra means 5 matras, Tan matras, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And Sparsha means, 5 kinds of senses. So when there is a union between this sense and sense object, Matras Parashas Kaunteya, Sita, Ushna, Sugha, Dhukkadaha, we have dualities. We have many kinds of dualities. So with these dualities, we should not get disturbed. If we can come across these dualities, like Rishis, they do tapasya. Rishis, they do tapasya, and while doing tapasya, they tolerate all kinds of suffering. So here Krishna is saying to Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, I understand. When you are doing war, you have to go through all kinds of dualities, but just tolerate. Like a Rishis are tolerating while doing tapasya. So this is your tapasya, that you are in the war field and you have to fight. So in the war field, you have to tolerate and you have to fight. So with this understanding, if you do, what will happen? So amritatvaya kalpate, yamkhina vyatante te purusham purusharishava samadukka sukam dhiram so amritatvaya kalpate. If you fight like this, considering sukha dukkha in the equal manner, samadukka sukha dhiram, you have to see both sukha and dukkha in a very equal manner. Then you will attain, so amritatvaya kalpate, you will attain liberation. So here Krishna is giving a way to understand the soul. That is tolerance. He says, if you learn this tolerance, then you will become Amrita, you will become eternal. So here again, Dhira word is used. Here again they given different explanation. Dhira means Dhi Iryate iti Dhiraha. Dhi means intelligence, and Iryata means one who applies the intelligence in a proper way is called Dhira. So here Krishna says that don't worry about the results, don't worry about the dualities, just be fixed in your dharma and do your dharma. Don't think about results, don't think about the sufferings, just do this duty. So with this understanding, Krishna speaks about the way to understand that soul. Next shloka he says, Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, upayavarapi drishtontas, tvanayos tattvadarshibhi. For always changing body, there is no permanence. For unchanging soul, there is no destruction. So Tattvadarshi is one who has seen the truth. They have understood this nature. Now, a question may come, why Krishna is speaking about soul? Why Krishna is educating us about soul? What is the use of understanding soul? The first answer is Krishna's original understanding, or Krishna's original purpose is to teach him about God, or he has to teach us God. Shastras are meant for us to teach God. So in the process of understanding God, if we cannot understand soul, we cannot understand God. We should try to understand soul. Why? Because to understand God, we need some basic understanding. God is unknown to us. God is not very visible, or God is above our experience. So we should have some knowledge about what we have, some experience in this world. And with this experience, we can know the unknown. By knowing the known, we can go to unknown. It's as simple as it is. Like somebody is asking you for an address. He's coming and asking you, okay, tell me, where is this address? This address is unknown to him. So what will tell him? Okay, you know this temple? Yes. So from the temple, you have to go like this, and then you take a right turn, and then you go straight, and then you take a U-turn, and then you will reach that place. So by guiding him from the known thing, you take him to the unknown thing. So here Krishna is trying to do the same thing. By teaching him about the soul, when we understand the soul, then we can understand the super soul, because the quality of soul and super soul are equal. So without understanding, without having some experience about that spirit, we cannot understand the super spirit. So that's why Krishna is trying to teach us about the soul. When you understand about the soul, nature of the soul, then you will have some understanding or some knowledge about that super soul. So Krishna is trying to teach us about the soul. He says that this soul is indestructible and body is always destructible. So ubayavarapi drishtontas tvanayos tattvadarshibhi. So by knowing, we go to unknown things. So with this, now Krishna stops here, and then from 17th shloka onwards, he is going to speak about the nature of the body and the soul. So all these shlokas are very important. We may have gone through these shlokas many times, but Acharyas, they give us in a very different perspective to see these shlokas. Avinashitu tat viddhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasam abhyasasyasya nakaschit kartum arhasi. He says, Avinashitu tat viddhi. Understand the soul is indestructible. Avinashitu tat viddhi yena sarvamidam tatam. And this soul is all pervasive. Soul is perverted. Soul is pervading everywhere, and soul is indestructible. Vinashinam abhyasasyasya nakaschit kartum arhasi. When you understand this, then where is the chance for your misery? When you understand that soul is indestructible. Now we should understand why soul is indestructible. We always say soul cannot be destroyed, soul cannot be killed, soul is eternal, soul is indestructible. Why soul is indestructible? In science, very nice thing is explained here, according to Nyaya Shastra, that when you want to destroy anything, for example, when you want to destroy some object, what happens? all the objects are made up of atoms. So when you want to destroy an object, what happens? For example, you have a stick and you have a pot. So when you want to destroy the pot, the stick goes inside the pot and it breaks the pot. Similarly, when you want to destroy something, the object is made up of atoms, and whatever thing that we are using, it should penetrate the object, it should penetrate the atoms, and it should destroy the atoms. By means of dismantling the atoms, the object is destroyed. This is how we burn something, this is how we dissolve something, this is how we dry something, by means of disturbing the atoms. But here, what happens? Atma is indestructible. Why? Because in this world, there is no thing which can penetrate inside the soul. Soul is so subtle, soul is so tiny, soul is so minute that there is no thing which can penetrate inside the soul. So that's why soul cannot be destroyed. Balagre shatabhagasya satata kalpitasya cha jivaha savigneyaha. This is what Upanishad says. The soul's measurement is so tiny, it cannot be destroyed. It cannot be even pervaded. Soul pervades everything, but in this world, there is nothing perverts inside the soul. We have earth, we have water, we have fire, we have air, which can destroy anything in this world. But all these four things are very gross, and soul is very subtle. These four gross things cannot penetrate the soul, so soul is indestructible. That's why the soul is called Gunat Valokavad. Gunat Valokavad. This is what Vedanta Sutra says. The soul is just like a lamp light. When you lit a lamp in a room, it pervades whole room and it gives light. Similarly, when soul enters inside this body, it perverts, it gives consciousness for the whole body. This is how the soul is explained. Yata prakashante ekaha, like a sun stays in one place and it gives consciousness, it gives brightness to whole world. Similarly, soul stays in one place because of its consciousness, because of its pervading nature. Soul pervades everywhere, but there is no thing in this world which can pervade, which can enter, which can penetrate the soul. So that's why soul is called indestructible. And soul has the quality of Dharma Buddha Jnana. Soul, it is conscious of its own self, and also it is conscious of everything else in this world. Nothing is known to nothing, because like mountain is not known to trees, and ocean doesn't know about the land, and sky doesn't know about the flowers. They're all achit. Only soul knows about all these things. So soul is conscious of itself and it is conscious of whole world. That's why it's called Dharma Buddha Jnana. So these are few qualities of the soul. So when you understand few of these qualities of soul, then we can compare these same qualities with Lord in a broader way. We are Anu Atmas and he is Paramatma. So whatever he has, the qualities we also have in a very minute manner. So that's why Krishna is here explaining about the soul, which is very easy for our experience, which is easy for our understanding. So he says, Avinashi tadviddi yena sarvamidam tatam vinashinam abhyasasyasya nakaschit kartum arhasi antamanta ime deha nityasya yokta sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmad yuddhasva bharata. Body is always temporary. This body cannot made into permanent. Body is always temporary. That's why he says, antamanta ime deha and nityasya yokta sharirinaha. He used two words, Deha and Sharira, for this body. What is Deha? Deha means the Upashaya. The Upashaya means that which grows is called Deha. When we take birth, the body starts growing from childhood to youth to old age. The body is growing, so it's called Deha. And after old age, it's called Sharira. Sharira means Shriyate. Shiryate iti Shariraha. That which decays is called Sharira. So this body, it's not temporary, it's not permanent. It is just given for us for two purposes. This body is given to us to enjoy our karma and also to prepare our new body. So body, whatever you do, this body is temporary, Arjuna. Soul is eternal, soul is indestructible, body is very temporary. Whatever you do, body will get destroyed. So this is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Eyanam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hadam ubhauta unnavidanita nayam hantina hanyate. So soul does not kill anyone. Soul does not make anyone to kill. And also, when you know this, there is no need to worry that you are going to kill someone or you are making someone to kill. No, soul doesn't kill anyone, and we cannot make any others to kill. So this looks like Krishna is here influencing or he is encouraging violence. When you say this, soul cannot be killed and soul is not killing anyone, so anyone can kill anyone, because ultimately you are not going to kill the soul, you are going to kill the body. So this may seem like Krishna is influencing or he is encouraging violence. No, violence has a place. Violence also, it's very important, but it has a place where it should be used. Like doctor is doing violence, he is cutting, he's making blood, and he's doing so many things, but that violence has some purpose. So here Krishna is saying, yes, that killing should be used, but it should be used in a proper way. So that's what Krishna is encouraging here. And then he says, Najayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. This again, he is comparing this soul. This soul doesn't have the quality of body. What are the qualities of body? Body means it has birth, it has death, it has so many kinds of changes. But soul, it has no birth, it has no death, it never came into being. It is not like it is going to again take birth in the future. It doesn't change like a body. When body is killed, the soul is not killed. The soul has different set of properties, it has different set of nature. When a soul gets moksha, it is mentioned in the Upanishad, soul gets 8 qualities of the Lord. What are those qualities? Apahata Atma, it is without any sin. Vijaraha, it doesn't have any old age. Vimurtihu, it doesn't undergo death. Vishokaha, it doesn't have any shoka. Vijigitsa, it doesn't have any hunger. Vipipasa, it doesn't have any thirst. Satyakamaha, it is able to achieve whatever it desires. Satya Sankalpaha, just by his own thought, he can achieve everything. So these are some of the qualities of the liberated soul. When you get liberation, soul gets all this property, but definitely soul doesn't have the quality of body. So that's what Krishna is saying in the 20th shloka. Veda vinashinam nityam yayena majamabhyam katam cha purushah partha kam gatayati hantikam. When you know that soul is eternal, then how can you kill? You cannot kill anyone, or you cannot make anyone to kill. Veda vinashitam nityam. When you understand the soul is nitya, Enam ajam abhyam. Ajam means it is not taken birth and it doesn't have any changes. When you understand this, there is nothing like you can kill the soul or the soul is killing someone. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grihnati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. He gives a very nice analogy how the soul is changing body. He says, why Arjuna you should worry? The soul is eternal, anyway it is eternal. Why you should worry about the soul? Then Arjuna is saying to Krishna, Krishna, I understand the soul is eternal, the soul cannot be killed, but still body is there. I love Bhishma's body, I love Dronacharya's body. I'm just going to destroy their body, so I don't feel good. And Krishna says, it is just like throwing away the old body and taking a new body. See Drona, see Bhishma. There are old people. How long they are going to suffer in the same body? So what is death? Death means we are just changing from old body to new body. Like a person changes his old shirt, old useless torn shirt, and he takes up a new shirt. Similarly, we give up our own old body, useless body, and we take up a new body. But there are sometimes people die in the young age also. So what to do with that? And there are some, what is a guarantee that I will get a new body, which is nice one? Like here Krishna is saying that give up your old shirt and take up a new shirt. Okay, that's okay. But what about if I get a new shirt which is not good? I'm having an old shirt which is silk one, and I'm going to get a new one which is plastic. Why will I go for new one? I like old one. Old one is better. I'm living in an old house which is palace. And you are saying I have opened a new jail, so why don't you come and stay in jail? I will not go. If the new one is not better than the old one, why will I shift to old one? Then Krishna is assuring, don't worry. When the soldiers, when they die in the war field, they will definitely get new body. Their body will get rejuvenated and they will go to heaven. So definitely there is no any problem in killing, because when you kill, they will get a new body which is better than the old body. So that's why Krishna is saying Vasam Jirnani Tavihai. And there is one more understanding also. Like when we go to tailor, we take measurement for our body and we stitch accordingly. Similarly, how Krishna is preparing our next body, he is now measuring our consciousness. According to our present consciousness, now Krishna is making ready for our next dress. So if we can mold our consciousness in a very nice way, our new dress, we are making our new dress, we are making our new body. So our whatever consciousness that we develop, our body will be ready in our next life. So we should have a proper consciousness so that we will have a very good body in next life. So with this understanding, Krishna says about don't worry about the soul. And then Krishna again explains the same thing, that soul cannot be destroyed in next three shlokas, in 23, 24, 25. Nainam chintanti shastrani, nainam tahati pavakaha, nachainam kledayantyavo, nasochayati marutaha, अच्छेत्योयम अदाख्योयम अक्लेत्यो शोष एवच नित्य सर्वगतस्तानो रचलोयम सनातनः अव्यक्तोयम अचिन्तोयम अविकार्योयम उच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्तैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि. He says अच्छेद्योयम, soul cannot be cut, adakyoyam, soul cannot be burned, akledyo, soul cannot make wet, it cannot be dissolved, sochayati, it cannot be dried. Soul is nitya, sarvagata, stanur, achalaha, sanatanaha, abhyaktaha, achintyaha, avikaryaha, nanusochitumarhasi. Considering all the quality of soul, don't worry about this Arjuna. So Krishna, here he has given his point of view that soul is eternal, body is anyway temporary, so don't worry. Now he gives an opposite statement also. There are some people who doesn't believe in soul. There are atheists also. So now Krishna is taking the paksha, purva paksha, or the atheist paksha, and now he's going to speak about their point of view also. Arjuna, even if you don't believe in soul, even if you think there is nothing like soul, still you don't have to worry. So sloka number from 26, 27, 28, he speaks about this. He takes about the opposite position. So this is called apyupa gamyavadam. Apyupa gamyavadam, that is opposite person's vada. That is like an atheist person. He says, Atachainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam tatapitvam mahabaho nanusochit marhasi. Arjuna, even if you consider the soul, there is nothing like soul. We take birth and we die. What is there to worry? Because anyway, whatever has birth, it has death also. So why to worry? That's what Krishna says in next shloka. Jatasya dhruva mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmat aphariyariyarte natvam sochitum arhasi. In this world, all the thing which has taken birth, it has death. And whatever dies, it takes birth again. So where is there to get worried? If you believe in soul, still there is no worry because soul is not getting destroyed. So there is nothing to worry. If you don't believe in soul, if you believe that there is only body and there is no soul, then still there is nothing to worry also, because anyway, the body is temporary and soul is also, you are saying there is nothing like soul. So anyway, we are all going to die. So why you should worry about soul? Because if you believe in soul, then you believe in Naraka and Swarga. If you don't believe in soul, there is nothing like Naraka and Swarga, no next birth. So why you should get worried? That's what Krishna here he says. Javasya dhruva mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmat aphariyariyate natvam shochitum arhasi. Abhyaktani iti bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata abhyakta nidanameva tatra ka paridevana. So here Krishna takes up different philosophies. First he takes up Lokayavada. Lokayavada means Charvaka philosophy. That is Lokayavada means whatever happens, we should live happily in this world. That is called Lokayavada. Who cares about next life? Who knows whether there is next life or not? Who knows whether hell or heaven? Just live happily. So if you take up their philosophy also, still there is nothing to worry. You just fight and get happy and be happy. So that is Lokayavada. So from their point of view, there is nothing to worry. You should fight. And from Gautama's Nyaya point of view also, he speaks that soul, whatever there is a birth, there is a death, and whenever there is a death, there is again birth. It's called the law of conservation of energy. So this comes from Gautama's Nyaya philosophy. So the energy is not getting destroyed, it is going to come again and again. So there is nothing to worry. And then he goes to Vaisheshika philosophy. That is in 28th shloka. He says, in the past, it was Avyakta, there is nothing like soul, and suddenly we all take birth, and in the future, we will not exist. Previously, we did not exist, now we are all existing, and in the future, again, we will cease to exist. So, this is called Vaisheshika philosophy. The atoms, they were separate, and at some point of time, they come together, it is made into this body, and after some time, the atoms get dismantled, and again, everything perishes. So even if you consider the Vaisheshika philosophy, there is nothing to worry, you should fight. So Krishna says, Natvam Shoshitum Arhasi, Nana Shoshitum Arhasi. So Krishna is trying to convince Arjuna from different point of view that he should do his duty. So with this understanding, he stops here, and then he just gives a conclusion about the soul. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam, ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanyaha, Ascharyavatchainamanya shrunoti, Shrutva Benam Vedana Chaiva Kaschit. There are some people who speak about the soul as very wonderful, and there are some people who hear about the soul as wonderful, and some people who heard, they see the soul as very wonderful, and there are some people who really understand about the soul. They are very wonderful, or they are very rare. Today we may say, oh my God, I heard about the soul very nicely. Today I heard about soul, very wonderful things. Or I may think, oh, today I spoke about the soul very nicely. I don't know whether I spoke about it properly, but still I may think, I spoke about the soul very wonderfully. And somebody may think, oh, yes, he spoke about the soul and I understood the soul very nicely. Only I understood the soul very nicely. Nobody could have understood like my understanding. So somebody may thinking, I understood better than everyone. So everyone will be wondering like this. But there are actually few people who understood about the soul. And in this world, millions of people, they are dying without even hearing the word of soul. That's what Krishna is saying. After explaining everything, like us, Arjuna is also scratching his head. What Krishna has spoken, I don't understand. I can see many of people are having the same kind of thing. Okay, you are speaking about soul, you are speaking the soul is eternal and body is temporary. I am hearing this, but I'm not able to understand. So that's what Krishna also saying here. You cannot understand. It is very rare to understand. It is very rare for somebody who has interest to hear about soul. It is very rare that somebody is speaking about the soul. It is very rare that you hear about the soul from spiritual people, and it is much more rare to understand, to hear, and to apply in your life after understanding about the soul. So Krishna also concludes that understanding soul, hearing about the soul, application of the soul, it's very, very difficult. It is very amazing thing. So again, he gives a conclusion with the 30th shloka for the Sankhya Tattva. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitum arhasi. He says, Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata. Now Arjuna may have one last doubt. He may think, okay, Krishna is speaking about soul. He says soul is eternal and body is temporary. But what about there are some souls which are not eternal? It is not that all the souls are eternal. There are some souls which can be destroyed also. If that is the case with Bhishma and Drona, I should not kill them. Then Krishna says, Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata. Whatever body you find, in all kinds of body, all the souls are eternal. So don't think there are some souls which are temporary. All the souls are eternal in all kinds of body. So you don't have to worry. So you see, Krishna is trying to push us. Krishna is trying to help us in so many ways. That's what Shastra it does. There is a very good statement. Mata pita sahasrebhyaha vatsalataram shastram. Shastra is just like thousands of father and mother. What thousands of father and mother cannot give us, Shastras are giving us. So that's what Krishna is trying to give Arjuna. He's trying to encourage Arjuna. Right from the 11th shloka, Asochan vasochastum, dhirastatrana mukhyati, tam titikshashva bharata, nakaschit kartum arhasi, nana sochitum arhasi. So with all the statements, he's trying to encourage Arjuna. You should not worry, you should fight, don't worry. Just tolerate, you can do it, like a father, like a mother trying to encourage the son. So Krishna is trying to encourage Arjuna. So with this, he concludes the knowledge about the soul. So, Asthana Sneha Karunya So we saw that Arjuna had three problems. That is Asthana, Sneha, Karunya. He has an improper place of mercy. So what is an improper place of mercy? He was thinking he had this mercy for this body, but this body is temporary and soul. We should have mercy on the soul, not on the body. So with this shlokas, with this Sankhya philosophy, or with this understanding about the soul, Krishna is trying to clear Arjuna's doubt about Asthana Karunya. You should not have mercy, you should not have lamentation for the body because it is temporary. You should have some concern about only soul. So with this understanding, he gives answer for this Asthana Karunya. Next, there are two more things. That is Dharma Dharma Diyakulam and Asthana Sneha. So for these two things, from 31 to 34, Krishna is giving answer for Dharma Dharma Diyakulam, and 35 to 37 is giving answer for Asthana Sneha Karunya. So now Arjuna has understood that yes, soul is eternal and body is temporary, but still he is not inclined to fight. Now Krishna has not stopped. He is again pushing him with other ways to motivate him for fighting. Swadharmam avichāvekshya navikampitum arhasi dharma yuddha shreyonyah kshatriyasya na vidyate. He says, doing your swadharma is the best thing, Arjuna. There is nothing better than doing your swadharma. Kshatriyasya na vidyate dharma yuddha shreyonyah kshatriyasya na vidyate. You are considering that fighting this dharmic war as adharma. It is wrong. For a kshatriya, this is the best way. Like for brahmanas, tamevam vidvan amrita iha bhavati nanya panta ayanaya vidyate. For a brahmana, doing tapas is the only way to achieve liberation. For a kshatriya, doing fight is the only way to achieve his liberation. So you should fight. Because you are thinking that himsa, you are going to do violence, but it is not actually violence. What you are doing is not violence. It is dharma yuddha. Like the doctor is doing violence, it is meant for establishing good for the patient. Similarly, you are doing violence to establish peace in the society. So if you have this in your mind, that you are doing dharma yuddha, then you will not have this problem. So do your duty, don't worry. Navi kampitu marhasi, don't kampitu means don't shake, don't get shaken by all this dharma diyakulam. Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavritam sukinah kshatriyah partha labante yuddham idrisham. So here in 31st and 32 shloka, in 32nd shloka, Krishna is speaking about Sakama Bhakta, Sakama Yogi. Sorry, it's not Sakama Bhakta, Sakama Yogi, Sakama Karma Yogi. So now Krishna is diverting Arjuna from Sankhya Yoga to Karma Yoga. So in the Karma Yoga, the first place is Sakama Karma Yogi. Sakama Karma Yogi means he is doing some karma with expectation of some result. So these two shlokas are showing him the result. If you do this, you will get this. If you fight, then what happens? Swadharmam api chavekshya navikampitum rasi dharma yuddha shreyonyah kshatriyasya na vidyate. For as a kshatriya, if you fight, you will get shreyas. That is good for you. So do your duty. This fight has come on its own. It's not that you went for fighting. It came on its own. When fight comes on its own, we should welcome it. He says only few pious kings, they get this chance to fight in a dharma yuddha. So this dharma yuddha is actually a chance for you. Like brahmanas, they do so many kinds of yajna, jyotishtahoma yajna for many years to get into swarga. You don't have to work so hard to do this jyotishtahoma to get swarga. Just by fighting in this dharma yuddha, you will get swarga. So that's why he says, don't miss this chance. Swarga dwaram apavritam. Your swarga dwara is open for you. Sukinah kshatriya partha labante yuddham idrisham. Just by fighting, you will attain swarga, which is very rarely attained by brahmanas by means of their yajna, by means of their jyotishtahoma. So he says, just go on fighting. If you don't fight, then what will happen? He says, Adachet mamimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tataswadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti devyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtir maranat atirichyate. He says, if you don't perform your duty, then it will bring you sin, it will bring you defame. How it will bring me sin? If you don't fight, then Duryodhana will come into kingdom. He is a sinful king. So because of his attitude, people will start doing sinful activities. And because of this, whole environment becomes sinful. Like you are saying, when I kill, then the whole environment becomes sinful and women will get mixture and then there will be Varna Shankara. No, if you don't fight, then only there will be Varna Shankara, then there will be problem in the society. If you fight, then you can establish dharma. So Krishna is saying that. And he says, if you don't fight, then you will get defamed. So what is more worse than defame? Maranat atirichyate. Akirtim chapi bhutan. If you get defamed, if you get bad name, what is more worse than getting a bad name? Because you have very good name of conquering Kalakayas and Nivata Kavachas. You have even conquered Shiva also. And Shiva, he becomes so pleased with you, he gave Pashupatastra. So you got all this good name. Now you are going to spoil this by avoiding this fight. If you avoid this fight, then everybody is going to defame you. He says, Bhayat ranat uparatam mansyante tvam maharataha yesham chatvam bahumataha bhutva yasasi lagavam avachavadankscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantas-tava samartyam tato dukkataram nukim atva prapsase swargam jitva bhokshase mahim tasmaduttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchayaha. He says, if you run away from the battlefield, you will get bad name. And this bad name, there is a very good statement in Manusmriti. Akirtir yasya giyate loke bhutasya kaschit padyat eveditam lokan yavat sabdasya giyate. So in this world, if somebody gets a bad name and he dies, but his bad name stays in this world. So long the bad name stays in this world, that long he has to stay in hell. So if you get bad name, then you will definitely go to hell. So the bad name will stay in this world and you will also stay in the hell. So don't get this bad name. It is worse than death. So that's what Krishna is saying. People will think, they will not think that you went out of compassion, you went out of mercy. No, you went out of dharmika buddhi. They will think that you went out of fear. You are very fearful, and they will speak so many unrespectful words, and they will decrease your ability. So don't do that. So Krishna is trying to motivate Arjuna in a very different way. And he says in the last sloka, Sukha dukke same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tata yuddha yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. If you do like this, you will not get sin. How? He says that if you do with this samabuddhi, sukha dukke same kritva labha labho jaya jayo, if you work with this understanding of whether I am going to get sukha or dukkha, labha or jaya or apajaya, doesn't matter. I will just do my duty. If you do with this samabuddhi, then there is no sin. So here Krishna is doing a little transaction from sakama karma yoga to nishkama karma yoga. Till now, he was speaking about sakama karma yoga. If you do your duty, you will get heaven. If you do your duty, you will get kingdom. You can be happy in this world. But now Arjuna is thinking, okay, even if I get my heaven, or even if I get my kingdom, but still I don't want to kill my guru and my brahmana guru and my elderly grandfather Bhishma, because I will get sin. Then Krishna is saying, no, there is a one way to not to get sin. You can do your duty, but still you will not get any sin. How is that? By this samabuddhi. If you work with this samabuddhi, if you work for liberation, if you work with the understanding, I am doing this work for my liberation, I am doing this work for my self-realization, not attached with the results, then you will not incur sin. Like Prabhupada gives example, a person is working as a soldier, he may kill thousands of people, but he will not get any sin, because he is not working for himself, he is working for government. So in the samabuddhi, with the samabuddhi, if he starts working, then you will not get any sin. So this is how Krishna ends here with Sankhya Yoga philosophy. I don't know whether it's already 7:30. should we go more, or we should end here and we should continue the second chapter tomorrow? Because it's impossible for me to complete the second part of Nishkam Karma Yoga. So what is your opinion? Tomorrow. Okay. There are many people who are already tired. I am also tired by continuous talking also. So yeah, tomorrow we can continue. Tomorrow we can cover these two topics. Today it's a quite big topic about Sankhya Tattva. So Krishna here, yeah, quiz chapter, or chapter 1 will post the quiz. Okay. So I guess you have all seen the quiz questions for day 1, and maybe you may have find out the answers for that. So today I will post the questions for chapter 1 and chapter 2, whatever we have covered till 38 shloka, whatever we have covered, we will post the quiz program, quiz questions, maybe today or tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll see from 39 shloka to 72 shloka. I hope so, because tomorrow is very interesting. First, this 38 shlokas are a little dry because it is speaking about soul, which is Krishna himself is saying that it is Ascharya, but it is very difficult to understand, and only amazing people will understand. So we are not definitely that amazing people. So Krishna is going to give the another option. What are the other option, or what are the easiest way to realize the soul? So this is very good for us. So tomorrow we'll speak about Nishkama Karma Yoga, and also speak about the qualities of the person who is self-realized, that is Sthita Prajna. Okay, so I will end up here. So if you have any questions or comments, you can ask now. Okay, there is one question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my name is Vicheta. Actually, I wanted to ask you, could you just repeat the 8 qualities of the soul which you have mentioned?
8 qualities of the liberated soul. Apahada Atma, Vijaya, Vimrutyuhu, Vishokaha, Vijigitsaha, Apipasaha, Satyakamaha, Satyasankalpaha.
Okay. And what is the difference between Nishkam and Sakam? Could you explain this again?
Sakama karma means we do some karma expecting some results, and Nishkama karma means we do our work just for the satisfaction of the Lord. That is called Nishkama karma. Tomorrow we'll get into that.
And
Yeah.
no, just the base. And Sthita Prajna means to be settled.
Sakama karma, Nishkama karma, both comes under Varnashram dharma. People, those who follow their Varnashram dharma, expecting some result, they are called Sakama Bhaktas. Those who do their Varnashram dharma just for the purpose of doing dharma, or for the purpose of satisfying the Lord, that is, they are called Nishkama Karma Bhaktas. And there is higher, that is called Nirapeksha Bhakta. There are 3 kinds of devotees we saw.
Also, Sthita Prajna means to be settled, right?
Sthita Prajna means self-realized.
Self-realized soul. Okay.
Yeah, self-realized soul is called Sthita Prajna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for this wonderful lecture.
Hare Krishna. So we have again Anita Ramaya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept humble obeisances. Prabhuji, you were saying about the Sankhya philosophy, right? So can I just come again with what you told?
With?
Can you just come again with the Sankhya philosophy which is explained, which you explained now?
Sankhya philosophy starts from shloka number 12 to shloka number 30.
Okay, so it says about the soul, right? The soul
it
is
speaks about soul. In Sankhya means Samyak Gyayati. The thing you understand with your intelligence is called Sankhya, or analytical study. So till now Krishna was showing us how the soul is different from the body, how the soul is eternal, how the soul cannot be changed, how the soul cannot be destroyed, how body cannot be made into eternal, how body is destructible. So with analytical study, he was
okay. So yeah, okay. Sorry to interrupt. So the Sankhya philosophy is basically it's saying about the soul, right? So
Sankhya philosophy means analytical study.
Okay, analytical study of the soul. So this
any analytical study, but here Krishna has taken the soul as a subject matter of analogy, his analysis.
Okay. And this is the same Sankhya philosophy which is told by Kapila Dev also, right?
No. That's what I'm saying. Analytical study means anything you can take and analyze and you can study. So here Krishna has taken Atma as a subject matter and he has analyzed and he has given us a process. And then there is Sankhya philosophy which is given by Kapila in Bhagavata. There he is explaining about bhakti process. That is different analytical study. And there is atheist Sankhya. He also explains about the nature of this world. So he has taken about the Prakriti and he has explained about that analogy. So that is a different analytical study. It's different Sankhya philosophy.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so does anyone has any other questions and comments? Okay, there's one more. Ravinder Mohan Sharma.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just have a question about the forms of the Lord, which is like, okay, I understand there's the Brahma Jyoti, there's of course Paramatma, and there's Bhagwan. And then Kisro Dakashai Vishnu is always with us in our heart. And then as we leave the human body, maybe we will be going to the Brahma Jyoti or spiritual planet, or maybe take on another body or go down to the lower planets. But at all times, the soul is eternal, as well as Kisro Dakashai Vishnu is always with us wherever we go. So in that sense, can we say that we are actually not alone, that we are always having God with us in whatever form, wherever we go?
Okay, so there is one beautiful shloka, Bhayam tu abhiniveshatvam. Bhagavata says, why people they get fear when you understand that we are alone or we don't understand the God's existence. If you see in Bhagavad Gita in the 3rd chapter, we'll come to that. Krishna, first of all, he introduces how human life should live, how humans should live, with the understanding that we are surrounded by demigods. Demigods are taking care of us, and we should be grateful to demigods. So when you understand this concept, then you will not feel lonely. Always demigods are watching on you, and they are ready to help you, and they're taking care of you. And Lord is also always with you. He's your eternal friend. He's looking for you. When we understand then this thing, then there is no question for sadness, no question for loneliness, no question for suicide or all this kind of negative thoughts. So yeah, that is correct what you said. You're not alone. I have a question. It is written in written comment up. What is his name? Suraj. Where is the question? I cannot see. Suraj, can you repeat your question? You say you have a question. Okay, yeah. There are kind of people who doesn't believe in soul, and the perspective of view Krishna told that fight, so there any hell or heaven for them who doesn't believe in soul. Please clear my confusion. I'm not very clear about your question. But anyway, Krishna was speaking very sarcastically to Arjuna. He has well established that there is a soul and body changes, soul is not changing, soul is eternal, and soul is changing from one body to another body. He has established it completely. And then he rebukes or he just pinches Arjuna. Arjuna, come on, you are saying about you are speaking like an atheist person. You say that there is hell and heaven, and there is samskaras to be done for pitris, and again you say that I don't want to kill. So this doesn't match. This doesn't go together. So again, Krishna is telling, even if you take their point of view, from atheist point of view, still there is nothing to worry. But atheists are already destroyed. Atheist philosophy is already destroyed by me. Whatever I have given you the knowledge, it is already answering the atheist question. But still, if you think like an atheist, still there is nothing to worry. That's what Krishna is trying to tell. Krishna is not speaking atheist philosophy, but he was just rebuking Arjuna. Yes. Sahani.
Yeah, Prabhuji, body, soul, and Paramatma, the three things we understood. Where demigod exists, is it just a designation or something else?
Where demigods?
Demigods, how we will understand them? Like we are body, soul, and Paramatma. But
When we
here,
come to
demigod-
third chapter, Krishna will go through this. We'll go step by step. I don't want to skip. I don't want to go further ahead. Krishna is very systematically presenting us. Krishna is not immediately jumping to conclusions. He's just telling Arjuna, please, first of all, just try to tolerate in this world. And then he speaks about soul, which is the first step of spiritual life. He just gives us the basic difference between body and soul. It is very common. It is very simple that soul is different from body. Even though we know this, we understand this, it is very difficult for us to apply. So now Krishna will teach us, okay, it's very difficult to understand, it's very difficult to apply, it is very difficult to realize. Now I will give you another option to understand, to realize the soul. So next he will speak about Nishkam Karma Yoga. It will be very interesting how Krishna goes step by step. So we'll come to demigods when we come to third chapter. Krishna will have to explain himself about demigods. Okay, I stop here. We see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.